So we have the new numbers. It's Thursday. Can you first just go over the numbers and what are the main takeaways this week?
Yes. This morning, the new unemployment claims nationwide, over 740,000, slightly up from the previous week. In California, our numbers over 140,000 and also slightly up. And what's striking, I think the main takeaway is that even though we have 11% of the nation's civilian labor force, this morning we had over 20% of the new unemployment claims. This follows a pattern we've seen over the past 8 weeks now, where California's new unemployment claims are running way above those of the rest of the nation.
And we do have some other economic indicators as well. So can you tell us what those show?
Well, the other indicators this week are also very sobering in terms of our state. Small business revenues, small business openings, all continue to be down, haven't really improved since September, since early September. And job postings, they went up here in California in July when we opened up the economy. They continue to be down, and in fact, they've gone down sharply just in the past 2 weeks. For the most recent week ending November 13th, job postings in California were down nearly 30% from the postings in January. So these other three main indicators, small business openings, small business revenues, job postings, all continue to be down.
And we're continuing to roll back, and things are shutting down again with no sight of when things are going to reopen again. And currently, you say that 750,000 Californians are receiving pandemic unemployment assistance. Do we know how long they're going to have that assistance?
Yes, this is an issue that came up this morning. Also, California workers, those who are employees or W-2 workers, receive regular UI. They're not going to be impacted. In fact, UI you can collect basically for 59 weeks. So those who started collecting UI last March or this past March will actually be able to continue not only through the end of this year, but pretty much through April. Other workers, though, in California, around 20% of those on unemployment insurance are independent contractors. Their program, they're receiving unemployment insurance under what's known as pandemic unemployment assistance, and that runs out December 26th unless Congress does something. And this morning, the California Policy Lab estimated that number at about 750,000 Californians. So it's a high number, and people shouldn't panic, but it does depend on Congress doing something after Thanksgiving and before December 26th.
And we're also, waiting to see when the next stimulus bill will be approved. So is that going to help at all?
Well, it looks now like a full stimulus isn't going to be approved before the end of the year. I think the hope is that for unemployment assistance, that particular element, which was one element of the CARES Act, the previous stimulus, some action might be taken on that in early December, especially directed at this ending of PUA for independent contractors that's now scheduled to end on December 26th.
Pfizer and Moderna are both showing really positive efficacy rates for their vaccines. We still don't know when they're going to be released, hopefully soon. But does that equal economic relief anytime soon?
No, I think positive news is that they are going to be released and may be released soon on a very limited. But from an employment point of view, I think the main takeaway from their announcement is that it may not be widespread distribution until next April or May. And if that's the case, rather than an economic pickup or an employment pickup in the first quarter of next year, it may not be until the second quarter or even the end of the second quarter. So it's good news that the vaccine is moving forward and may be available soon. It's not such good news from an employment point of view in terms of if the timing indeed for widespread distribution is not going to be until April.